what if you could take a free vacation every year? Wouldn't that be great? Now, I'm not talking about something like travel hacking with credit card points. I'm talking about your investments paying for everything. Your flights, your hotel, your food, everything. Now, sorry to all my American friends, but I'm going to use a Hong Kong based example. And I did a little bit of research, and apparently, the most popular destination for Hong Kong residents is Japan. So let's take a look at the average cost of a 7-day trip from Hong Kong to Japan. The cost of such a trip has a wide range. It kind of depends on the kind of traveler you are, right? If you're more of like the budget conscious student, backpacker, whatever, someone who is going around and staying at hostels and so on, maybe the total price can be in the lower end. And if you're someone who is, who loves luxury and comfort and loves to experience all the finer things, so-called finer things in life, it's going to be on the high end, right? So according to my research, a 7-day trip might range from between 14,000 Hong Kong dollars to about 30,000 Hong Kong dollars. Let's take a fairly comfortable trip that's going to cost us $25,000 for one person, 7 days in Japan. And now, what if you could generate that amount, right? $25,000, 25,000 Hong Kong dollars every year without touching your principal investment. This is the power of income producing assets. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring, but if you can, forgive her. She's enjoying her rest, right? In order to generate $25,000 in passive income, right? Sorry, I'm going to say dollars, but I mean Hong Kong dollars, whatever. In order to generate $25,000 of passive income, you need an investment that's kind of, giving you cash flow, throwing off cash at you every year. But what kind of returns do you need and what kind of principal would you need in order to meet the $25,000 goal? Let's look at some different returns and then the principal amount that you would need for those ones. I need to take a look at my notes here. If your investment delivers 7% cash on cash return, that means you would need a portfolio of roughly $360,000. At an 8% return, you need about $310,000. At a 10% return, you need $250,000. And if you go higher than 10%, well, of course, the principal amount will go down. But anyway, the exact number is not the point. The point is the principle, right? Acquiring income producing assets and those assets giving you cash flow every year or whatever, however often the distributions are, but you use the income that's produced from that to do the so-called fun things. So your goal isn't to save up $25,000 for a single trip. Your goal is to save up $300,000 or whatever the amount is based on your projected returns. That is going to give you, $25,000 per year forever. And you can use that money to do whatever the heck you want. That is the shift for saving for a goal to shifting to building a system that's going to, fund your lifestyle. Now, maybe your goal isn't a trip to Japan or a holiday or whatever. Maybe it's a new car every few years. Maybe it's tuition for your kids. Maybe it's, I don't know, whatever the heck your goal is, it doesn't really matter. And the size of your goal doesn't really matter either. The point is that you need to have a goal that excites you, right? This is how we transform investing from something boring, spreadsheety, numbers, math. A lot of people don't like this stuff, but this is how you translate it into something that's exciting and it's something that you can feel really passionate about. So this is what can make the whole investing process fun, right? You're not just chasing some number like whatever the balance in your bank account or your brokerage account or whatever it is. You're not chasing that. Rather, you are buying your freedom one income producing asset at a time, right? You're chasing the goal of financial freedom, or maybe not completely financial freedom, but you're chasing the goal of being able to, spend your passive income on the things that you like to do. I think this is a very reasonable or noble goal, if you want to call it that. I've been looking forward to this video for a while because I thought it would be one of the more interesting videos, and I thought it would be more relatable, especially to the people that I know around me in Hong Kong, right? If you want to know more about how I build a portfolio of assets that generates this kind of predictable income, then definitely reach out. Let's talk about your goals. Let's talk about how to get your freedom, or how to at least have the discretionary income that you can spend on whatever you want, more or less guilt-free, because you're not touching the principal. You're just using the so-called cash flow or the interest that you earn to do the fun stuff, right? Anyway, reach out, let's talk, and thank you for listening. Haven't joined yet? Our free investing group gives you front row access to new deals and helpful investing education. Sign up today.